I'm watching it going, whoa, this is happening. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm just a little in shock, to be honest.
Well, it's a party at the pool. Welcome back to the Ready Room. Brittany McLean-Campbell, Devin Haru. Everything is literally wrapping around us. The athletes are excited. We've got some fans trying to get autographs. You are along for the ride throughout it. 4 days of competition. Devin, it has been so much fun to watch.
Yeah, the party is over. What an event for Canada. 42 Canadians, a huge team, rookies, veterans, and 13 medals for the Canadians. Britt, we're now learning that matches, you have to go all the way back to 1997, the last time a Canadian team won 13 medals at the Pan Pacs. So I would say a resounding success.
Well, I think back to 2014 and 2018, and I feel like that was one of the peaks of Canadian swimming. And so to think that they've already surpassed that and are going back in the history books, this roster is one we're going to be talking about for a while. We've seen veterans, we've seen young new names. And with that, let's dive into both of our highlights of the week. I would say, there's so many different moments of every meet that makes you emotional, that gets you excited, that kind of takes you back a bit. But that win, the gold medal for Alexanne Lepage, was both of our moments of the weekend. I say that's one of those career-defining moments. She took that gold from the world champion and the Olympic champion, Kate Douglas, who, by the way, broke a world record just 26 minutes before it. Dev, you got to chat with her after. What was that like?
Yeah, out of lane 2, right? I think it was a shock to a lot of people at this pool. I no disrespect to Alexandra, but I don't think a lot of people were expecting that result. Listen, you have brought me into this beautiful aquatic world. I've been in a lot of pools around the world. Tonight's race might be my favorite race of all time because it was so unexpected. And as it kept going and going, you're going, she went out fast, and you're going, wait. And then 100 meters, and you're going, wait.
She got it.
And
she
then
got it.
What? And Alexanne Lepage is a Pan Pacs champion. She was so proud. She had a great meet. And after all of it, she was as in much shock as I was. Take a listen.
I'm so happy with how that went. My goal was to just go out, like I said, and just try to hold on. I knew I was fit, and I can't really see where anyone was, so I was just trying to swim my own race, and I'm really happy with how it went.
Well, and there were juggernauts in this race, and so I'm wondering if you're even aware of what's going on, because I'm watching it going, whoa, this is happening. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm just a little in shock, to be honest. Yeah.
You have worked so hard. What does a breakout swim like this mean for you in your career?
Yeah, I'm really excited, just working on building towards 2028. That's the goal. So just taking it one race 1 year at a time. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
Well, Dev, I spoke to her coach, Mike Blundell, right after the race. First of all, I ran up and hugged him because what an accomplishment for coach as well. Yeah. He deserves a ton of credit for that performance. And I said, were you expecting that? And he said, well, the plan was to go out fast. But I didn't realize that was going to be the result. He said, I expected a 2:22. I thought she had it in her, but the 2:21.73, a lifetime best by a second and a half. Congratulations, Alexanne. That was unbelievable, and we will remember that race forever.
And Anime Pierce was going crazy, blowing up my phone.
I was going to say.
She thought her record was going down. Wow. She really did.
The last 50, just the toughness, the grit. I love watching that as an athlete. Just so phenomenal. Okay, speaking of things I love to watch, Taylor Ruck, again, such an incredible performance tonight. The 50 freestyle Canadian record has stood since 2018. Guess who had it? Herself. But that is 8 years ago. And imagine not going a personal best time for 8 years in an event and then taking a mark down in the final tonight. It was one of the fastest fields we've ever seen in the 50 freestyle.
Yeah, and we have said it many times, but the story that Taylor Ruck is authoring, this resurgence, some dark days, and the fact that she is finding times and performances when everybody was talking about her in 2018 about being the next great, right? And now she's duplicated that performance.
She's still great. She continues to be great.
Exactly.
And she is one of the greatest.
Yeah, and 5 medals in 2018, 5 medals here. There's a lot of symmetry, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And she really, she actually had no idea. It was a personal best time. And I love the fact that she has said, I'm not going to fixate on times, and I'm just going to focus on having fun.
Yeah.
And
it's working.
And it's working. So here's a little bit more from Taylor. You were in a world record race when you broke a Canadian record. What's it like to be in a race with powerful women pushing the sport forward?
Oh my gosh. Oh, just the way you described that gives me like, it's beautiful. Yeah, like before the race, walking out and hearing Team USA or this crowd cheering on Team USA, it just was like the floor was shaking. It was almost like in Paris when all the French were like cheering on Léon Marchand. It's really cool just to like be part of this environment. And then touching the wall and hearing that Kate broke the world record, like it's such a cool experience. And I'm super grateful to just like, yeah, just feel it in the atmosphere. It's electric.
Well, Devin, it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies here at the competition.
Although there was butterflying.
Literally. Earlier I was like, is that a bat or a butterfly? I
We
can't
didn't
tell
even rehearse that.
Yeah, seriously. With that, there was a bit of a challenge for Summer McIntosh all week. She has struggled to find her groove. Was it, an overtrain? Was she missing her taper? We have no idea yet. I don't think Summer knows yet. There's lots more questions still to be answered, but we all have bad meets. And she had to get through this meet after day one being disappointed and continuously having to show up. I call it her silver lining. She lost the gold medal tonight by 2/100ths of a second, but I do believe that Summer is going to be better for this experience, and I also believe that the best is still yet to come.
A little bit of a reality check and off meet for a swimmer. For Summer McIntosh is 4 medals, a gold, 2 silver,
Seriously.
and a bronze,
So
right?
good.
I mean, let's all sort of remember that for years we've been talking about a lot of what we're seeing from her isn't normal.
Well, her
Right?
expectations are high,
Yeah.
which rises our expectations,
Right.
and then she continues to meet our expectations.
Yes.
And so we talk about how high these expectations continue to be, and I
Yeah.
think the pressure was evident for Summer here.
Mm-hmm.
But if any moment is going to have a learning experience for
Yeah.
her, this was the chance. This was a perfect opportunity.
She owned it. I think, we've been there. I've been there. I've interviewed her every
You've been
meet.
disappointed in your performance before?
Oh, I've
Jeff?
been disappointed. It might be happening right now in this final show. No, listen, I've talked to her since she was 14 years old, and
Yeah.
she dreamed of
Yeah.
all these things. Everything was in front of her. She turns 20 in a few days, and she has just ascended to the top of this. We're reminded of the human element of sport through all of this. I think when we look back and we're standing on the pool deck in LA, it's going to be Summer's career prior to PAMPAX in 2026 and Summer's career after 2026. This is going to be a seminal moment for her, not only in the pool, but I think in her life. I think she's going to walk away from this. She's going to reflect a lot. Hopefully she has some fun.
Yes.
And just remembers,
Yes.
hey, it ain't this serious.
No.
And so here's a little bit more from Summer and her reflections after a silver medal in the 200 IM, a season's best performance, by the way. Thinking back to our chats when you were 14 and everything was in front of you, and this being your last race individually as a teenager, can you take a moment to just soak up what you've been able to do before you turn 20?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me probably more emotional just because this meet didn't go the way I wanted it to. But, ever since the age of 14, going to my first Olympic Games and then doing what I did in Paris at the age of 17 and then doing what I did in Singapore last year at 18 years old. I know that I've accomplished a lot for being so young, and I've learned so much in these past couple years, and going into my 20s, I hope to learn even more. So.
Well, I think the next time Summer McIntosh hears that anthem on the top of the podium, it's going to feel a little bit different. After everything she's
great
battled
point.
through
Yeah.
this week, she's going to feel extra proud when she gets back on top of the podium. Well, Dev, it's been so much fun getting to cover this meet with you. We're in California. We're having the time of our lives. Thank you for being a part of it. I think Canadian swimming is at a really exciting point because this week we didn't just talk about Summer McIntosh. We got to talk about so many other incredible athletes.
A lot
the
of
depth
depth,
of this
yeah.
program continues to build. Blake Tierney on the podium twice in the backstrokes, and he was
gold.
joined by his teammate Ethan Eck, 2 men on a podium and at international level. The best is still yet to come for this program. We cannot wait to talk about it from now until LA 2028. We are going to continue to bring you all the stories, which, by the way, Dev, we also have an episode of The Ready Room this coming week where we're going to keep talking
Wait, you're
about
not
it.
stopping?
No, we don't stop because, guess what's
Can't
next?
stop, won't
Junior
stop.
PAMPACs are next week. Para PAMPACs
I'll be
are
there.
in 2 weeks. Devin's going to be there, and
Here.
it is in California. This one is one of the most committed swim fans I know,
You
and
got me
this is
here.
how you get all the stories.
You're
so
stuck with us.
you're stuck with us. We're stuck with each other. Thanks for being along for the ride.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.